Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. Our hope is that you had yourselves a productive Tuesday. Now, here's a sneak peek of our edition. Officials attending the Attorneys General Pact Forum 2026 have highlighted the critical role of collaboration between public and private institutions in driving sustainable development, both at the national level and across Africa. The plenary sitting of the Senate on Tuesday approved by majority vote the draft organic law governing elections after examining article by article all its 159 articles contained in 10 chapters. We're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Martina Abera. Now, officials attending the Attorneys General Pact Forum 2026 have highlighted the critical role of collaboration between public and private institutions in driving sustainable development, both at the national level and across Africa. We have more coming from Adam Squizera.
The establishment of investor-friendly legal frameworks is one of the key factors that investors in Rwanda point to when describing the country as an attractive hub for investment and business activities.
So the government has helping us a lot, and I think now when you were entering into the factory, you realize that they are expanding the road. It was not easy before, but now it's doing well. As I said before, the electricity is also about to be connected. So, and we are also talking to government to help us with some areas that need areas into operation.
Honestly, I was thinking in the beginning it was different. It will be difficult. I was thinking like that. We finalize it. If you have all the documents, what they are asking, if you go there, same day they can open it. They can do everything. They helped us too much, actually. I cannot forget that kind of things. Yes. For our experience, according to what we see when we was opening a company, it was very professional, actually.
These regulatory frameworks, along with public-private partnerships, are also central to discussions at the General Assembly of the Attorney Generals in Africa, which has brought together various institutions, including the World Bank. The Senior Vice President and General Counsel of the World Bank Group, Christopher Stephens, emphasized that such collaboration are essential for establishing a solid and sustainable development pathway for both countries and the continent as a whole.
Partnerships are essential to the success of the development agenda because only the private sector can bring sufficient capital, know-how, and technology to these sectors and to power the development agenda. The Ministers of Justice and the Attorneys General are critical because they're going to be the leaders of the reform that make the investment more attractive for the investment to follow through and to deliver those changes in Rwanda and across Africa. Technology to these sectors and to power the development agenda. The Ministers of Justice and the Attorneys General are critical because they're going to be the leaders of the reform that make the investment more attractive for the investment to follow through and to deliver those changes in Rwanda and across Africa.
The Minister of Justice and the Attorney General, Dr. Emmanuel Ugirashebusha, noted that for the private sector to deliver tangible results, there must be a strong and enabling legal frameworks that also open up broader opportunities.
Our experience has shown that clear legal frameworks, predictable institutions, and a vision for inclusive growth can attract investment and transform lives. Along that journey, we have come to see the private sector not as an external actor, but as a partner in development. Growth does not come from government alone. It comes from all public institutions and private actors working together. PPPs have therefore become an important part of how we think about delivery, not as a shortcut and not as a transfer of responsibility, but as a structured way to bring together public priorities and private capacities.
The ease of doing business is part of Rwanda's long-standing policy direction, which is already yielding tangible results. According to Rwanda Development Board annual report, 799 investment projects were registered in 2025, up from 612 in 2024. creating more than 38,000 jobs. The Chief Executive Officer of the Rwanda Development Board, Jean-Guy Africa, stated that for more than 25 years, Rwanda has deliberately chosen to build a rules-based system that promotes investment.
But a hub, as you very much know, is not created by location alone. Many countries are centrally located. What matters is whether investors can trust the system. Permits are issued on time. Contracts are respected. Coordinate. Decisions are predictable. And government can move with speed and discipline. Rwanda made one of its most important choices very early on in the 2000s. We were to turn the business environment into a national competitive advantage.
The Attorney General's Pact Forum 2026, held under the theme of Public-Private Partnership to accelerate Africa's development transformation, which has brought together senior government officials, private sector leaders, and development partners including Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency and the African Development Bank, AFDB. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.
The plenary sitting of the Senate on Tuesday approved by majority vote the draft organic law governing elections after examining article by article all its 159 articles contained in 10 chapters. The draft organic law governing elections was prepared with the aim of improving the preparation of proper conduct of elections for local government organs, consolidating the various amendments made to the organic law governing elections, harmonizing the organic law governing elections with other laws, and aligning the draft of the organic law governing elections with the guidelines for drafting new laws. After it was submitted to the Committee on Governance and Human Rights in the Senate of Rwanda, the committee first examined it and made various changes to it article by article, with 151 articles undergoing amendments related to substance and drafting. Before approving it, the plenary sitting of the Senate on Tuesday analyzed it again, once more examining all 159 articles that make it up. Where there were unclear points, senators first asked the committee for detailed explanations and then voted to approve the article. The plenary sitting approved by majority vote the entire draft law governing elections, which has 159 articles grouped into 10 chapters, including general provisions, the preparation and conduct of elections in general, the election of the President of the Republic and members of Parliament, the referendum, the election of leaders of decentralized administrative entities, and others. The plenary sitting of the Chamber of Deputies has voted to pass the law relating to digital asset trading, which is expected to contribute to the development of a technology-based economy and increase confidence in investment. As the world continues to place emphasis on expanding the use of technology, especially in trade and the protection of digital assets, the plenary sitting of the Chamber of Deputies has voted to pass the law relating to digital asset trading. Among the views expressed by members of parliament was the need to consider how it can be refined so that it delivers the expected results. The chairperson of the Committee on Economy and Trade in the Chamber of Deputies, Theogene Munyangeo, explained how the law relating to digital asset trading will be complied with and said that the business is conducted on more than 924 markets worldwide, but not all of them will be authorized. The world has a population of more than 8.3 billion people, of whom more than 79 million regularly engage in digital asset trading. In Rwanda, about 350,000 people have already taken part in the trade. Moving ahead, the Minister of Trade and Industry, Prudence Sebahizi, together with his Botswana counterpart, Tioriaone Nsima, have attended Rwanda Botswana Business Forum being held in Gaborone. Minister Sebaizi told the people of Botswana, especially those involved in business and investment, that Rwanda's doors are open and that the country is ready to work with them. The two-day meeting, which began on Tuesday, is being attended by government officials and private sector representatives connected to sectors including mining, tourism and technology services, with the aim of promoting cooperation that brings benefits to both countries. The Office of the Ombudsman has indicated that there is still a gap in local government organs in resolving citizens' problems on time. In the 2025-2026 fiscal year, the office received 1,267 citizens' complaints in 6 districts, of which about 912 were resolved, although it was noted that they should not have had to reach the Ombudsman. Issues mainly involving injustice, land, and corruption are among those that some residents raised with the Chief Ombudsman, Marlene Nidere, together with officials of Rutsiro district in June last year when she visited the district as part of efforts to resolve in public some of the problems that citizens had for a long time without being solved. At the recent meeting that brought together leaders in central and local government organs at Gako in Bugesera district, the Prime Minister, Dr. Justin Sengiumva, basing on figures from the Rwanda Governance Board, urged leaders in different organs to increase efforts in properly resolving citizens' problems and doing so on time. Since July 2025 to date, the Office of the Ombudsman has visited the districts of Nyamasheke, Ngororero, Rutsiro, Gisagara, and Ruhango, Gatsibo, and Ngoma. The Office of the Ombudsman urged public institutions to strengthen efforts in fighting corruption and to operate with transparency. This was highlighted during an anti-corruption training provided to employees from various public institutions. And Nora Gladys has the details.
During this one-day training, which brought together members of anti-corruption committees from various public institutions, participants stated that they gained a lot from it that will help them improve their performance and deliver better results.
So we are expecting to get more insight from this meeting, how we, as the committee in charge of fighting the corruption at the ministry, how are we going to work in order to prevent that, the corruption can happen in the institution that we represent. So we believe that there is transparency in everything that is being done at the ministry, transparency in recruitment, transparency in procurement, transparency in providing license for license to operate for private clinics, in everything that the Ministry of Health provide to service beneficiaries.
These trainings will help strengthen our efforts to fight corruption in the institutions where we work, so that we can contribute to helping Rwanda be the first in combating corruption worldwide. These anti-corruption committees will continue to play an important role in our workplaces, especially by identifying gaps where corruption may arise and reporting them to the Ombudsman. The Deputy Ombudsman in charge of preventing and fighting corruption, Abbas Mukama, reminded public institutions that they should use the resources allocated to them according to established guidelines and conduct self-assessments aimed at combating corruption.
What we ask of public institutions is to provide training related to risk management, so that all areas with potential corruption gaps can be identified. This is important because what they are taught here is that there are about 12 forms of corruption related to practices, including sexual bribery, misuse of public funds, and misappropriation of state property. Yet some people engage in these acts without realizing that they constitute corruption. All these institutions are the ones that receive the national budget and are responsible for managing and spending public funds. Therefore, we ask them to use these resources appropriately in line with their intended purposes, as approved for activities they are mandated to carry out. These are also the commitments that the President of the Republic made to Rwandans. and at that very least, they should be implemented at a level of 95% or even 80%.
Globally, Rwanda ranks 41st among the least corrupt countries, up from 43rd place in 2024. Its score has also improved, rising from 57% in 2024 to 58% in 2025. In Africa, it ranks third, while in East Africa, it holds the top position. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Health experts and policymakers are calling for stronger, coordinated strategies to prevent preeclampsia, a serious pregnancy complication characterized by high blood pressure. The condition is responsible for approximately 16% of maternal deaths and an estimated 500,000 preterm births worldwide. Preeclampsia remains a major topic of discussion among international medical experts gathered at the Global Preeclampsia Summit currently being held in Rwanda. Representing World Health Organization, Olufemi Oladapo stated that by the end of the four-day summit, stakeholders expect to agree on comprehensive, evidence-based solutions to better prevent and manage the condition.
At the end of these 4 days, we expect that people will agree with each other and have common agenda around what kind of research we should be doing to learn more about how to take care of preeclampsia. What kind of guidelines should we be issuing? Do we have enough recommendations for midwives and doctors and healthcare workers to be able to treat these conditions? We want to know what are the key access barriers. Why are women not getting the treatment they need? What are things that we need to do to fix those? And lastly, what are the advocacy gaps that we need to fix? Because many people don't know about this disease. Even though some are pregnant, some are not pregnant, some are still young, they're not at that age yet, but it's a disease that everybody should know about, whether or not they are pregnant or have family that are pregnant, so that they can prepare for it, get what they need to address the problem before it becomes too late. You're welcome.
Approximately 3% of pregnant women develop preeclampsia, and it accounts for about 15% of all maternal deaths worldwide. In Rwanda, preeclampsia is the second leading cause of maternal mortality following postpartum hemorrhage. Medical expert Professor Stephen Rurisa emphasized that preeclampsia remains a critical public health issue requiring sustained attention and improved clinical management.
To think about preeclampsia and put up measures that can reduce maternal mortality, especially related to preeclampsia. It is the second killer of women next to postpartum hemorrhage. It is a big problem. It kills over 16% of women that die due to preeclampsia. So it's a big problem. I think what should be done is making sure that women or mothers seek care during pregnancy as early as possible so that we can prevent severe mortality and morbidity.
Dr. Atanas Rukundo, Director General of the Clinic and Public Health Services Governance at the Ministry of Health, highlighted progress made in reducing maternal and neonatal mortality. Rwanda's maternal mortality ratio has declined to 149 deaths per 100,000 live births, partly due to improved management of conditions such as preeclampsia.
Advancing adoption and implementation of evidence-based maternal health care bundles, and this is also informed by the data we collect on a daily basis. We used to collect data in our health facilities, and we could always wait the end of the month to receive, the compiled reports. But the digitalization reform we have worked on, we are connecting all our health facilities, and we are receiving data instantly, and we can make decision timely without waiting the end of the month to make the decision. So we must continue to strengthen early detection, and we have to empower communities to make the informed decisions.
And on that note, we've come to the end of tonight's bulletin. On behalf of the news production team, thank you for sticking with us on RTV News. We'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe. Have a good night.